How's it going, folks? It's Lace in the place. Normally, I don't talk about politics or anything, any kind of polarizing topics on the channel, but today's kind of a heavy day for a lot of people, not just people I know, just people literally all over the country. And it's pretty heavy for me too. I won't pretend that it's not. And that's why I felt like it was important to use my platform, use my voice to offer what I can. And there's not much that I can offer, but I feel like if I say nothing, if I do nothing, that's far worse than at least making a good faith effort. And do bear in mind, I'm not going to mince any words in this. I'm going to speak freely, and I don't expect the usual crowd to be here for this. I don't expect a lot of anything really, but I wanted to do this because I feel like it's the right thing to do. Very quickly, I am going to disable the sound alerts and just the channel point redeems. They're there, they're just muted, so with respect to the situation, don't try to use them. So anyways, to quite the surprise of many, Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election last night, and a lot of there's all kinds of theories out there. There's all kinds of ideas. You got people playing the blame game. Like, that's the things we expected to happen are happening, and that's fine. I won't even. I'm that's not something that I'm going to hold against anybody, of course, but. As I said, it's been a very heavy day for a lot of people because of that. There are a lot of people who are scared, a lot of people who are frustrated, a lot of people who are really just asking, if they're not asking how did this happen, they're asking what happens now. And I totally understand that. I've been asking a lot of those same questions myself. It wasn't exactly the most restful night for me, as I'm sure it wasn't for many others. But we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I know that's not something that many may want to hear right now. And honestly, I can't say I would want to hear that. The last thing you want to hear when you're hurting or scared or frustrated is, oh, hey, it'll be fine. Just calm down. No one likes hearing that. Scarletta, it's good to see you in the chat. Congrats on getting first. I was just saying I disabled the sound redeems and everything just for the sake of the discussion I'm having right now, just so as not to be interrupted. I'll try to refund you the points, don't worry about it. But anyways, the outcome that we probably least expected did happen, and that's left a lot of people really concerned for the future. And that's not really for me to say whether you're right to feel that way or not, just as it's not right for me to say if you're excited about this, that's you. That's not really my concern. But for the people I know, for the people that I just see about, whether I know them or not, just the people that I see, the reactions that I'm seeing to this, like I said, a lot of people are really scared. A lot of people are really frustrated. And whether it's helpful in the moment to them or not, I do want to use what platform I have to try to reassure everyone that we will be okay. And I definitely want to stress, because I've seen a lot of it around, I definitely want to say right away, for those who are thinking of doing anything like extreme, you know what I mean? Don't. That's not the answer. That's never the answer. And it's absolutely paramount that if you are feeling that way, of course, seek help. That's not a help I can offer, nor will I try to, because I'm just not a professional in that regard. But I will stress, if you are having any thoughts of self-harm or anything like that, please don't. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, call a hotline, do what you must, just don't do anything extreme or permanent. With that aside, with regards to the two questions that I mentioned before, people asking, what happens now, or, what am I going to do? That's a tough one. Honestly, I'm asking myself that, and I'm operating on very little sleep right now. So trust me, I don't have that answer any better than anyone else does. But what I will say, as far as a streamer goes, as far as an entertainer goes, now more than ever, if people need comfort, if people need entertainment, I can do that. I can provide that. If someone needs a listening ear, like if I know you on Discord, if you're in the Butterfly Squad Discord, or if I just know you and talk to you on Discord, reach out to me. If things are getting heavy and you just need someone to listen, reach out to me. I'd rather you do that than do something extreme or, spin yourself into a panic. But as far as what you can do, for those who may feel motivated or compelled to get involved with, local legislations, I highly recommend that. For what craziness may or may not come down the pipeline, be ready to act. If you catch wind of some crazy local legislation, like I'm just making things up here. If they're just like, well, we're going to ban gas stoves, or something weird like that. Just if that's something that you feel strongly about, if you don't want that, vote. One of the things I've always loved seeing over these last few years is when former President Obama's giving speeches and he says something that the crowd doesn't like and they start to boo, he clearly loudly says, "Do not boo, vote." They can't hear you boo, but they can hear your vote. And you know what? He's right. He's right. We can be as mad as we want. We can be as sad or as frustrated as we want. But if you are not happy with the state of things and you have a power, a position, if you have a platform, if you have any means to do something about it, do it. Vote. If you can vote on it, vote. If you can take action, take action. If you can speak out on the matter, speak out on the matter. There's no reason not to. If you want to actually get involved with local legislature, talk to people who are involved in that. Find out what you can do. Whether it's just, whether it's something as major as actively getting involved in local legislation or just trying to help out others in need in your area, do that. It's not up to me to tell you what to do. It really is not. But I want to remind the people who may be scared or frustrated in the moment that we do have power. We've always had the power to at least affect the lives around us. I can talk to my friends. I can offer, comfort or entertainment or, a listening ear. I can offer a hug. I can offer whatever I can offer. Now, that's just me. But if that friend does that to another friend, and that friend's friend does that to another friend, you see where I'm going from there. We have the power to do something for ourselves in this moment. And again, I know things are scary. I'm kind of scared myself. I have plenty of reason to be scared for the many demographics that I identify with. I don't talk about it a whole lot on the channel, but I'm also not afraid to talk about it. I am the grandson of immigrants who came here legally. Grandma and grandpa are gone now. And I would imagine they would be quite upset to hear the direction we're going in. But even in being, a U.S. born citizen, the fact that I am the grandson of immigrants could very well put me in the in the crosshairs of the coming administration, and I'm fine with that. The way I see it, and do bear with me in saying this, it's half bravado, but it's also what I feel may be of a comfort to some. As you guys know, I used to be in the Air Force. That was about 11 years ago now. I may have taken off the uniform, but I never took off the oath. So if there's anything I can do to uphold that oath, I will do it. And I'm not afraid to do it. Just like I'm not afraid to speak out now. Some may not like it. Some may even think, well, you're a VTuber. You got to just, you know, you're not supposed to be involved in politics. Well, I'm an American citizen. You know, I am a brother, an older brother to a sister. I'm an uncle to nieces, an older cousin to younger ones. Like, there are women in my life who are going to be affected by this. There are, you know, LGBTQIA friends of mine who are going to be affected by this. I'm going to be affected by this in a multitude of ways. So I will do what I can, whether it's just making, you know, stupid little, you know, chatty videos like this, or, you know, actually getting out there and trying to make a difference, you know, voting on things. And I can't stress that enough. Vote, 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 vote. There were several people I talked to in this election cycle. There were several people I spoke to who were very on the fence about it, or who flat out said they weren't going to do it. And I thought, you know what, it's not my business to tell them what to do. Like, I've decided I was going to vote. This actually was the first time in my life, in my 42 years, the first time I ever voted. And I was proud to do it. I would do it again if I could. But I felt like maybe it wasn't my business to tell them what to do. And, you know, now I'm left thinking, well, what if I did? What if I did say something? What if I did change their mind and convince them to use their power, to use their right as an American citizen? Would things have been different? I don't know. And it's not really my place to sit here and wonder about that. But of course, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Also, Snowbird Zeri, it's great to see you in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. I really didn't expect anybody to be tuning into this. I am recording it for the sake of YouTube. I'm not doing like a multi-stream, but I am recording this in order to upload it later. And for that reason, I disabled any of the sound redeems just so that they weren't a distraction in the moment. None of this is rehearsed. This is all just kind of off the top of my head. You know, like I said, a lot of people are scared and frustrated today. I am frustrated. Can't really say I'm scared. I'm very frustrated. I'm very sleep deprived. I don't even think I got an hour of sleep last night, but it'd be like that sometimes. But again, don't take this as a defeat. Don't see this as the end. We know who he is. We know what he's about. And we know the people who are going to roll right over and try to let him do that, or even help him do that. But there's more of us than him, than them. And that's why I'm saying, use your power. Use the power you have. Vote on things that you know, if something crazy pops up, vote that shit down. Just get rid of it. If there's something you want, speak up. You know, reach out to local legislature, reach out to your house reps, your senators. Just use the power you have now more than ever. And gamers, hey, I know for us, it's politics is one of those things where we're just like, I just, you know, I don't want to mess with that. That's just too messy. Trust me, I wasn't a very political minded person for years, and I had the excuse back in the military. I had the excuse of going, well, I'm in the military. You know, I don't really have to worry about that right now. Just, you know, whoever's in charge, that's the guy I'm taking orders from, whatever. But, you know, getting older, like being out, getting older and seeing the way that things are going, I feel like if I don't do anything now, and you know, a lot of the, you know, independent news outlets, a lot of the political YouTubers that I watch have said the same thing. Jesse Dallimore, Farron Cousins, Brian Tyrell Cohen. A lot of them have said the same thing. Just sorry, my mind's all over the place. Just where I may not have been very political before, it is more important now than ever to educate myself, to be more aware of what's going on. And Scarlett, I see exactly what you're saying. You're saying, I'm happily listening. I just stay out of politics because I never like either side enough to partake. I fear it'll become like 1984. And that's the thing. Donald Trump and his supporters are, like, part of their strategy is to disenfranchise, is to demoralize, is to evoke that feeling that, well, what I say or what I do doesn't matter. Like, politics is messy. I don't want to get involved. Both sides are bad. The media's done a very bad job of both sidesism, and that's kind of what got us here. Call it out for what it is. When he said crazy shit, don't try to translate it. They're eating the dogs. No, they're not. They asked him about childcare, and he went on this like lengthy nonsense about numbers. Like I've heard that clip so many times, and I'm like, it still doesn't make any sense to me. I could try to sit there and play devil's advocate, but at one point you got to just be like, what did you just say? Like, someone needs to just do that at some point. But again, the bigger picture is Donald Trump and his his supporters, and I don't mean the regular voters. I mean like the people in high places who are enabling him to do the things that he does. They operate in such a shameless manner. As quickly as you may call them out for a lie, they just move on to another. Like as soon as they're just completely busted, all right, move it aside and keep it going. And it's a rope-a-dope strategy. Just keep hitting you with stuff that makes no sense. Like, before you can sit there and be like, what eating dogs? Like, what and then he's already on something else. So don't get tired out. Don't disconnect. Don't distance yourself from it. I know it's ugly. I know it's not fun. Believe me, it's not fun. But in order to avoid situations like this, in order to avoid ending up where we are now, we need to be involved. We need to be aware of what's going on and hold him accountable. This man has fallen upward his entire life. This man has just done bad thing after bad thing after crazy thing and just not been held accountable. Now more than ever, we need the public to really just be like, what the fuck did he just say? Like, what kind of crazy shit is that? You want to do what? Project 2020? What the fuck is that? We need people to really just do that. Now, I'm not saying you've got to absolutely pick a side. That's really not what this is about. But I am appealing to all of you, especially you gamers, more than anyone. Use your better judgment. You got a working heart and mind. You guys know my 3 rules I say all the time. As long as you're not hurting yourself, hurting anybody else, or breaking the law, live your best life. I would like to think that all of us make decisions at the core. We make decisions based around those 3 things. Is this thing I'm doing going to hurt someone else? Is it going to hurt me? Is this legal? We all have a conscience. We all have a general sense of right and wrong to varying degrees. Nobody's perfect, and this isn't about being perfect, but this is about using your better judgment. If it feels wrong, if it sounds wrong, call it out. Speak up. It's your right. And, with how crazy who sounds, I don't know how much longer it might be your right. But so long as Congress shall make no law. First couple of words in the First Amendment. So long as Congress literally can't say you can't say that, speak up. Say whatever you want. Speak your mind. Use the power you have. And in whatever way you can. If it's just to help out friends locally, do that. If it's to aim higher, if it's to approach or reach legislation, do that. If this will be the catalyst that gets you into a life of politics, do that. I can't say I wouldn't do it. I don't think that's necessarily what I ultimately would want to do, but at this point, why not? I see no reason not to. You know, we got some, we got a joker in the chat here, which, I kind of expected. And you know what? You're welcome to say that. I don't agree with it, but you're welcome to say it. I don't think it's really of any substance to the matter. And that's why I'm actually not gonna delete it. I'm gonna leave it. I want people to see what you said. In this moment, I want everyone to see what you said. So, putting that aside, you've gotten your 15 seconds of fame. You go away. Putting that aside, today is gonna be a heavy day. I know that. I'm not saying you can't be scared. I'm not saying you can't be frustrated. I'm not saying that you can't be worried for yourself or your friends or your family or a significant other. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the way you feel. I am saying process it, work yourself through it. Then let's get up and get to work. We got a lot to do, and there's a lot of challenges ahead. But understand this. Even if he lost, there were challenges ahead. You know this. That's life. Even if he lost, there would be challenges ahead. But this is the state of things currently. Just as previous generations were not allowed or were not given a chance to turn their eyes away from what was happening in their time, this is our time. Don't look away. Don't hide yourself away. Don't try to bury your head in the sand and hope that someone else will do it for you, because they won't. I think that sentiment is kind of what got us here. So use the power you have. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you care about. Get involved. Get active. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. That, more than anything, is another major point I wanted to say. A lot of misinformation got us here. Whether it was Twitter, whether it was Fox News, whether it was just word of mouth regurgitated from sources that were providing misinformation. Educate yourself. If it sounds wrong, if it sounds that far-fetched, it probably is. Again, I'm going to use the convenient example. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Like, really? 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 They're allowing abortions, from the 7th, 8th, 9th month, even after birth. Really? Like, really? Like, sometimes you've got to, I'm not saying pick fights, no, but sometimes you've got to confront people when they're saying something that stupid, that crazy. Sometimes you got to confront them. They're allowing abortions after birth. 1, it's not an abortion after birth, moron. That would be murder. 2, find me an example. Find me an example. I've said this to people at work. Find me an example of what you're saying, and if you can't do that, if you can't find it from a legit, credible source, you shut up. Now, I wouldn't say it in such mean terms, but sometimes you got to challenge shit like that. I hate it. I hate it. I've had to deal with it for 4 fucking years so far, and I'm pretty tired of it. So when people come with some like crazy shit like that, that's when I'm just like, where did you get this from? Where's this coming from? Where can you find me an example of what you're talking about? This crazy thing is happening in this place. Really? Well, do you know somebody there? How did you find this out? Is the news reporting about this? And is the news actually accurate about this, or is this something made up for clicks, for views, for misinformation purposes? Educate yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Just because it's the popular, and this is a direct call out to Fox News here. Just because it's the popular outlet doesn't mean it's the most accurate one. Fox News isn't even a news outlet. They've said this themselves. When they got in trouble with Dominion, they were quick to say, "Oh, well, we're not actually news. We're news entertainment." Kind of like how the WWE is sports entertainment. Wrestling's not real. I'm sorry. I love it, but it's not real. It's entertainment. Fox News is entertainment. Propaganda, but entertainment. And unfortunately, a lot of people That is all they get. Hell, I'm exposed to it myself. It's always on, right across from my desk at work, but it's not the only source of information that I look at, and I really don't even pay attention to it because I know it's not real. Educate yourself. There are plenty of people out there doing the work. And, you know, I've named names already. I don't really want to do that again. That's because that's not what this is about. But just educate yourself. Find out what's going on. Find out what's going on in the world. Find out what's going on in your state, in your city. And if you don't like it, speak up. Say something about it. You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If they pass a legislation in your city that you don't like and you never said anything about it, well, how would they know you didn't like it? How can you be okay with knowing that you perhaps had a chance to do something about it but didn't? And you know, please understand, you know, for those who really are going through it today, this isn't me saying, well, this is your fault that you didn't do anything. No, I am not saying that. And I don't want you thinking that one bit. I keep going back to it, and I'm gonna cut this short because I need to get some sleep. I don't wanna be doing this all day. But again, use the power you have. We're gonna be okay. We made it through 4 years of that guy before. We can do it again, hopefully with a lot less casualties, a lot less chaos. At the very least, we know who and what we're dealing with this time. He's a lot older. He's a lot more tired. He's a lot slower. He's a lot dumber. We know what we're dealing with now. We didn't then. We do now. Use the power you got. Butterfly Squad, I love you all dearly. To anyone who watches this video on YouTube later, this is not my usual fare. This is not something I would normally do on the channel. But again, I felt like if I didn't say anything, then you know, honestly, I really don't deserve to try to sleep after this. So for those who may watch this, for those who may agree with anything that was said here, send it to your friend. Send it to your friend who's hurting today. Send it to your friend who's worried about what's going to happen next. Yeah, I apologize for making this long. I thought this would be like a quick 10-minute thing, but I guess I had a lot more to say on it than I thought I did. But I will leave you with that. Thank you as always. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep it level.